Hey guys, welcome to my review on how to do class and object. And the reason why class and object is important is because, well, our C++ application right here is really only limited to one thing, and that's numbers, really. Well, characters as well, but characters convert to numbers. And so, for example, if we were to say integer, I have to put a number or else it's gonna read an error. So, what if I wanted to say integer a name or something? That wouldn't work because it would give me an error. And so the whole point of class and object is to allow for a customized variable to exist. And that's really useful because it allows a lot of things. We could bring in real life examples, favorite artists, favorite game, and other things like that. So it's really helpful, and it doesn't limit us to numbers. So sorry about that. Alright, so let's get started. So how to create a class. So first off, you're going to want to start off by typing class, obviously, and whatever you put next is going to be your thing you want to create, your object. So if I were to go by something, let's say my favorite rapper, or artist, I'm gonna put rapper because I like that stuff. And so I'm gonna make it public because I want to make changes to it in a little bit. I want to be able to edit it, not in the class scope per se, but it could be in the main function as well. And so I want to start describing my rapper, or not describing it. We do that in the main scope, but as in setting conditions up, we want to be able to tell the program, hey, I'm going to create strings and integers and stuff that match to what the actual outside information is. So for example, I could say string and his name, and we're not going to fill it in here because we're just labeling things or creating descriptions, I guess. And so let's say you got his name. Let's go with his genre. What type of genre of rap he sings in? Well, sorry, that sounded bad. What genre he's in? It's obviously hip hop and rap, but this is for an example's sake. And we'll go with one more. Let's go with let's show that we can still use numbers. So we could say integer and his age, and that should be sufficient enough. That should be a little bit of detail to get us started. So we could go back into our main function because we're going to start since we've already created this class up here, we're going to be able to call all this information because we're going to be able to describe it, answer these questions what's the name, what's the genre, what's his age, inside the main function. And it'll recognize this as an actual variable because we created the class up here. And so C++ knows this, and so we could just start off by saying rapper, and then we'll give it a little variable. So let's just say rap1, and then semicolon. And this should, so now we're going to be using rap1 because that's our variable now. And so rap1 name equals, and so we're using the string name because it recognizes it now. And we could say J. Cole. And same for down here, we could say genre equals hip hop and rap. We could say rap dot, rap 1 dot age equals. So for this one, we can't put in quotes whatever because we already labeled it as an integer, and an integer is a whole number. If I change it to float, a decimal number and stuff, but we're just gonna stay with integer. And so I have to enter an actual number. So his age is, I think he's 33, and yeah, that should be like that's like everything we've listed up here down here. So now, cool thing is we can now actually call everything and make it work and stuff. So let's say my favorite wrapper is, and then we could say, wrap 1.name, sorry, and then colon, and now it should print out wrap name 1, which is jcool, as my variable. And let's test it here. Everything seems good, and yeah, my favorite wrapper is jcool. So it works just like it's really interesting in a way that we have the freedom to do this, because sticking with numbers and stuff is just kind of boring. It doesn't really add too much spice to our code. So here's the other thing. So I'm gonna explain the significance of public. So let's say I have a second favorite wrapper. Like I just want to change it down here. Like I want to create a new variable for him. So the benefit of public is it'll allow us to. It won't limit us to just doing this. We could say we could create a new variable. So we could call down class wrapper back down here, and we could call it wrap2 or something. And then wrap2 dot name. Let's say my second favorite wrapper would be childish candy. These are really cool, dude. And like that. And we could do yada yada, like the genre and age, right? But just to show for an example's sake, this actually works. Let's say his genre is smooth jazz. And so this is bizarre, but watch as I'm able to still print it out. Oh, whoops, I don't want it to say before, but let's say, because I want it to recognize this before the cout. So yeah, my favorite wrapper genre is, and then we could go to genre, and yeah, it's smooth jazz. See? So yeah, so this is the basics of class and object. Of course, you could do much more, there's constrictors and using object functions to create more complicated lines of code. But in reality, this is the basis, and it's really helpful to know this, because especially if you're new to coding, then creating your own variables, messing around with it can be really fun. And so yeah, this is my TeachBack project, and hope you guys found this helpful, and thank you for watching.